Been thinking about what is the actual height of cut that we're getting on this. So here is our tape measure, and shockingly, if I push her down in there, I think our turf is cut at about a 1/2 inch. Seems much shorter. Yeah, that's the best angle to see it. Yeah, seems way shorter, but curious. I probably can't take what I've got and go a whole lot shorter than a 1/4 inch. I could probably get some bent grass and get all the way down to a 1/4 of an inch, which is, honestly, that's what I'm thinking about doing right here. Boy, and I don't know, the whole back, it depends on how temperamental bent grass is. I'll stop by and talk to the groundskeeper at our golf course sometime when we get back from Texas, but this is a 1/2 inch. So last year was mowing her around an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. It looks a lot worse on camera than it does in person. It's pretty, you know, if you get up here and you look at some of these spots, like for example, where these golf balls are sitting, it's pretty dense turf. You get right down to it, you know, and just the camera picks up all the stuff that doesn't look great, but that looks pretty nice to me. The areas that were thin are coming in. This, of course, is that burn area from where I was allowing Jackson over here to go back and forth with fertilizer, and we just got a little heavy here. So even where it is burned, I've kind of been putting a ton of water on it, and there's a little bit of stuff coming back in there, but doggone it. So, love the multiple heights of cut. I really like how that's looking. This is my line of sunflowers. They're coming along. If you remember when we started them, they were probably down here, I think, for these, and so they've grown 1.5 feet in a little over 2.5, 3 weeks. These down here coming along, albeit slowly. What I do need to do is probably get on the internet and look if there's a specific guide to what the secret is to growing monster Goliath sunflowers. This is as big as anything I grew last year got, so I'm already ahead of the game with that, but pretty exciting to see things starting to come to life. And then we've got, of course, pathetic excuse for a garden here, but I already see things like this little bird hopping around in here. It's awesome. A little bit of wildlife. When we get this front row is going to be all those wildflowers, which will get up, give it some structure, and late in the year, this whole area will have shade from these sunflowers. I mean, they've still got 12 weeks, probably 12, 14 weeks to grow before you run into a frost. So maybe they will be 10 feet tall. I mean, they're already 3 feet tall. So it wouldn't take a whole lot, you know, if they're growing at that rate. Maybe that turns out to be what we're talking about. The deck has been awesome. The biggest thing that we've added recently has been that little fire pit, a little solo stove that sits right there, and that is awesome to be able to sit out there in the evening when things have calmed down and it's 60, 65 degrees. It's not cold out, but I mean, humans have loved fire for how long, and having that one right there on your deck with nothing to really stress about has been phenomenal. So the setup's really great. Love the shed. Love the sandbox. Doing a little irrigating here. That's my next thing. Need to get that done. And then, of course, the hammock area. This big triangular hammock is pretty cool. Let me show you that. This is a neat thing. $47.99 off of Instagram. Got shipped to me from who knows where in Asia. But the little kids love it. So it's It's pretty cool. 3 of them can get on here and bounce around and jump around. What? Okay. Grass is amazingly growing. I don't know why this back row. It was completely exposed to, it wasn't insulated, sorry. So it was completely exposed during the winter. So I'm wondering if that's just winter kill. Because obviously you've got tufts back here and here. Quite the conundrum. I've been wondering how long it's going to take to get some of these snow mold spots to come out of the grass. I've wondered if dethatching real aggressively would help with that. I don't know. You see, as I get down in here, I've got some seed on some of them. But some of these, the plants that are in there, they're coming back. It's just going to take time. I'm really only 4 weeks into our actual growing season. So right now I'm really satisfied with what I'm seeing in regards to surface of the backyard. And having taken everything down another 1/2 of an inch, I don't think I can really complain a whole lot. Hopefully it'll darken up with this last shot of iron. And the nice thing about this is that it was $250. I don't even remember now. The downside is that it's not very heavy. If you've got like a Greensmaster, it actually does a real good job of striping your lawn. This thing, you wouldn't, other than you can see some differences, the cut's not perfect, but it's pretty difficult to see where you've cut sometimes. But I'd love to get myself a Greensmaster just to fuss around with and trim all this up. Absolutely beautiful evening.